Hello, there's my front panel. You can't see it, but on the inside I've just put another coat of black paint, and I've just kind of touched over on these bits here as well. Just touched them in. Here I found these right at the back of a cupboard at the back of the larder, and they're little baking tins. I think we must have had them years and years and years ago. Never used them. Well, used them because I can see they were a little bit, you got marks on them from being in the oven, but I've just drilled holes in them, and my idea is to use them to just blank this hole here. So that'll go in there. I'll put one in from the back as well and put 2 screws through and hold them in. So I'm going to dash a bit of paint on these and put them in just to cover those holes up, act as a shield. Okay, I'll bring you back when I've got them in place. Hello, I've fitted my little dishes into the holes there. They fit quite well, to be honest. I put 2 screws through and a couple of clips there. I'll have to put a little bit more paint on them. I put the stainless self-tappers in that I bought when I was going to screw the sills on across the door opening, and I didn't use, so I've got tons of them and clips. So they're in. That needs just touching in when the paint dries. And I wire wheeled those areas there because the front panel was in place when I cleaned those frame rails up. So I'll just clean those. And yeah, so when the paint's dry, and I put a bit of black paint on those, I can fit the front panel. I put a second coat of paint on the back, that'll protect it from water splashing. I'll leave it at that for now because I need to wait for the paint to dry. Then I'll start getting it fitted up. Okay, I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Hello, the front panel has been placed on. It's just fitted loosely with 4 bolts in the tabs at the bottom that I made recently, and 2 at the top. It's free to move about because you have to move it about to do the alignment on the panels. So that's on now. I put a little bit of black paint on the frame horns there, and my little tin trays are in place. Looking okay, I think. Yeah, so that's quite good. That's one of the first panels to go back on. I think I can fit this wing. There's no reason not to. I'll at least put it on and bolt it up. I've put all new clips in all the attachments, and I'll go with all new screws as well. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to fit this wing because I might rework the flange. Yeah, let's get this wing on. I'll put the other wing on as well, and then I'll adjust all the gaps and lock the front panel down, and then each of the wings can go on and off as needed. This one might be able to stay on. Yeah, okay, that's my little plan in my mind. I will bring you back when there's more to show. I've got the front panel in place, and I've fitted this wing, test fitted the wing, and it all bolts on okay, and it all aligns okay. Having said that, there's quite a big gap there. Yeah, I think I need to adjust the bonnet. I'd say that's okay. There's still a dent there. I might just leave that. but I need to just put a little bit of paint down here. So that needs some paint. Up here it didn't pull very well together, and I could see the washer down here, but this, on this wing, the hole on the flange is a little bit corroded, so I made a washer. I don't know if I'll be able to see it. Yeah, I made that thick washer there to spread the load, and that has enabled that to bolt up nicely. I don't think I've shown these before yet, but this is the way the wing bolts on. Well, this is the way I'm bolting it on. With these, they're number 14 self-tappers, 3/4 inch long. And they're, I don't know if the original type bolts are available, but all the ones I took off this weren't very good, so I've gone for these, which are commonly available. I think you're supposed to use like a thin piping down here, but if you can get it to fit nicely, it looks okay without it. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad, does it? In fact, the black paint doesn't look too bad there, because that's painted there. Now that it's fitted and curving under, and the paint has kind of weathered in a little bit, even though it's only the day after. Yeah, the black paint don't look too bad. This is a bit shiny though, but I will find some satin or matte black and paint those. Okay, yeah, it's not looking too bad. But this wing will have to come off to be painted, and I might do a little bit more on the other wing as well. But I think I'll probably just trial fit that wing as well. I've got the bolts in there, look, can you see them both in the dark? But anyway, you get the idea. But this, now that it's bolted all there, in fact it's got another bolt to go there and another bolt to go there yet, but this is really solid now. You know, I'm just trial fitting. This needs to be screwed together here. There's a little bit of give in everything. Everything's got a little bit of give in it, you know, to get it so you can adjust the fit. This wheel arch needs to be pulled out. This is going in, even here at the top. I think it's okay there, but it's definitely going in there. Yeah. I could do with finding some better wings, to be honest, but having done this repair, I don't really want to have to do that again. Any 100E wing that you see for sale needs repairing in that area there. You will never see one for sale that does not need repairing. I'm quite pleased with the fit here and the fit there. I think that looks pretty good. Oh, I've got to touch the paint in there, look. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. You normally wouldn't see that because the door would be there, but the door appears not to be there on this one. Can you see there where it's rubbed, where I've been opening and closing the door with the wing incorrectly fitted? That clears now. Okay, right, I'm just mooching about, seeing what I can do. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Back in a bit. I've been working on the 100E. What a surprise. I came out last night and I made just an experimental piece, just a piece of scrap metal. And what I did, I kept shrinking it around the edge, and it kind of produced like a dome, and I've just hammered and dollied the dome a little bit over a curved dolly, and what I was aiming at was something I could use to kind of repair this area here, And what you can see, that's actually got quite a bit too much dome. So I'm thinking I want to have another go and try and do it a bit less. But what I want to end up with is like a flange that will bolt onto that piece, and then a piece of metal that will come over here to kind of repair this area here. I'll go and cut a piece of metal and then start messing about. I think I've got to be prepared to, you know, get it wrong a few times before I get it right. Okay, back in a bit then. I've cut a piece of metal, and again it's from a shelf unit, so it's got a factory bent edge on it. When I say factory, obviously I mean the shelf factory, not Ford. But like I said before, this is a tidier bend than I can put in, and it's just wedged in, and the sort of, I've left a longer piece on the flange there to you know, to facilitate bolting through. So I'm going to shrink the flange and try and replicate the curve to start me off. Then I'm going to have to try and shrink this part to curve it this way. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but I'll give it a go. I've just spent a little bit of time over on the vise with a shrinker and stretcher, and that, my template kind of fits in there now, you know, close enough for this sort of work. So I need to bend this to the same as that to start the ball rolling, and then trim this down a bit smaller. It's a little bit oversized at the moment. If I can't do it in one go, I can kind of put some slits in it and then kind of weld it, maybe. Okay, so there's a start anyway. I'm really impressed with the shrinker stretcher. It's, you know, brilliant tool. Back in a bit. I tried to shrink this area, but basically I just can't do it. I sort of hammered it down into there and then hammered it kind of, where's my hammer? Hammered it like that, you know, like that, to try and force it into one place. Then hammered it flat like that there. Oops. But when you look at it, I'm stretching it rather than shrinking it, so it's not working for me. So I think I'll quit. Well, not while I'm ahead, but before I ruin it anymore. I'll cut off about the last inch and try and get that into shape as a starter, and then look at putting the little fill piece in for the rest of it, which I might be able to shape a little bit more like this, but less aggressively. But that's not working at all for me. Okay, right, back in a bit. I've been working on this piece. I shrunk it all around the edge, and then I've been hammering it on that stool there, which has got a foam rubber pad on the top with that mallet, and I've just hammered and dollied it, and it kind of, well, it kind of fits. It kind of fits. I might just shrink this very edge a little bit to get that edge tucked in a bit. But I think that's not too bad, to be honest. You know, and I can scribe along there and cut it, can't I? Or tack it on and scribe it and cut it. Yeah, that's not too bad, to be honest. Okay, I'm kind of sneaking up on it to catch it from a different angle, but That's my patch piece, and I've welded the two patches together, and I've laid them over the wing and scribed. Unfortunately, when I scribed down there, it went through, so I know the metal's not very good right down the bottom there. Okay, but anyway, it is what it is. So I'm going to take the wing off and get that welded into place. I'm sort of toying with the idea of welding it on in place, but I don't think I can do that because I haven't got the flanges aligned there, have I? I've got to get it this way a little bit. But, you know, it's in and not bad for a first effort at convex metal shaping. Okay, righto. Back in a bit then. Hello, here's my repair. Welded in, ground, and I've just run a sander over it. It feels a little bit flat there, and a little bit like it's got too much crown there. A little bit of a hollow there. To be honest, this part here doesn't feel too bad. Maybe it's not too bad after all, like, thinking about it. That's not bad for me, to be honest. Right, I think I will take this clip out, put the wing on, scribe through the hole to get a mark on that flange there, drill it, and do a trial fit. Okay, righto, back in a bit then. Hello, there's my repair. I think it looks okay. I'd say it looks pretty good, to be honest. And when that's dubbed in with a bit of black, I think it'll look alright. Got a bit of a gap down the middle, but it's very difficult to get everything to pull together, you know. I left myself the option of using filler. You know, I could make it fit pretty well. I'm not going to use filler, I'm just going to paint it. Wear your patches with pride. The screws and spire clips are working quite well. I might take the points off the screws actually. But you can see the welding on the inside there. Look, that's all penetration from the other side. I haven't welded it on the inside. I just trimmed this a little bit and just put a tiny little flip on the edge there. Probably, yeah, I think the light is showing it, yeah. So that wants wire brushing on the inside and painting inside and outside. And I'll make some strengtheners to go where the screws go through. But that is not bad. And you can see the repair on the other piece as well there, look. I'd say that's pretty good, to be honest. There's quite a lot of shape in that, isn't there? You know, it's got quite a lot of three-dimensional shape. Okay, good. Right. I don't know if three-dimensional is the right term, but you know what I'm trying to say. I'll show you something else that I was looking at. Last night I used this, I put the wheel on, I put that bar, and I was trying to push this wing out. But it was just tearing it there. It's quite badly out of shape. I think what I ought to do is look for a pair of wings. Well, maybe not a pair, because I think that side's okay. I could do with maybe having a go at reshaping this, but to be honest, it could probably do with having a replacement section let in. Trouble is, all the wings you see for sale, they're all just as bad as each other. They're all completely at it. And the other area where these go badly is along here, so you have to be careful. Well, rather, you know, I'm lucky that these haven't gone along there. I might have to do something here just to capture this. But I'm going to go and have a cup of tea now. Sit with the dogs for a bit. Okay, righto. But again, don't talk about what needs doing, talk about what you've done. But I'd say that that is a pretty good repair for an amateur with limited tools and limited ability, you'd have to say. Okay, righto. Jolly good then. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Cheers then, bye. I'm looking at my front wing here, and I want to try and bash out the worst of the dent and put a little patch over where it's rusty. In fact, I've already started. So I have bashed out the worst of the dent. I used various copper mallets, wooden hammer and a dolly and another hammer, and I've made a little patch piece which has a little bit of curve to it in both dimensions. And I think what I'll do now is I will carefully take the wing off and weld that in, and you can see the rust on the inside. I've also made some washers there just out of bits of flat metal, just to help spread the load when I'm clamping the wing up. And I've used a washer both sides, so the spring clip is attached to the washer rather than the front panel. Okay, yeah, I'll get this fixed, and that's probably one of the last jobs on the front wings. This one's all repaired. That was my first attempt at a convex panel. Probably got slightly too much curve to it, but you know, hey, who's counting? It's kind of fading away to nothing down there. You don't tend to notice it too much. Okay, I'll carefully take this wing off then, and you know, see about getting that welded in. I'll probably cut and butt. I've got the wing set up on the workmate there, upside down. I've just gone along with the grinder and put a cut in like that at an angle along that edge, and then in like that on that edge, and it's kind of fitting along here. So I'll you know, get 2 or 3 tacks along there. Bit of a wide gap just there. If I can get this side in, I'll look at that side then. Okay, back in a bit. I'm tacking the patch in, and I just thought I'd just show it how it looks halfway through the job. Tack, tack, tack. Got to put another tack there, and then start filling the welds in. I'll blew through here, there. So yeah, okay. I'm trying to give a slightly broader view so people can see what it is I'm dealing with. I had a comment saying you keep zooming in, but we ain't sure where that is. But anyway, you know where this is. There's a little bit too much crown there, but you know, I'm a learner, aren't I? You know, this is a good thing to try and learn on, isn't it? Something that's not too precious. Okay, righto. I'll bring you back when this is welded in. You can see what I'm doing. Weld, 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 weld. Okay, back in a bit then. Hello. Right, the paint's drying on that repair there. So this wing can be fitted quite soon. So what I think I'm going to do, I've got a very old tin of wax oil there. And I'm going to use that and put some wax oil all around here and along here, I don't know, you know, where along. Maybe I'll take the front panel off actually, paint the inside of the front panel and paint this panel, and you know, like along this top part here, all those areas that you can't really see, and put plenty down there, and along the seam there, along the seams there, etc. So it's just, you know, a little bit of protection all around here, for example. Okay, right, so there we are, there's a dollop of jollop. Let's get some of that on. Not as satisfying as red paint, is it? But you know, hey. So there you go, you get the idea, just a smear of that stuff. Okay, I'll bring you back when I've finished. Back in a bit. Okay, here's the car. Here's the front end with no front end sheet metal on it. And everywhere here's had a coat of wax oil. Not underneath here, but everywhere that will be non-accessible once the wing goes on. All up here. Those little panels that I put in. All along the front there. This area along the front here. The inside of the front panel. All the way in there. Including here, because the wing goes here. I've done up there anyway, and on those little tabs that I've put on the bottom there, and inside the wing as well, and the other wing, which is, you can't see it, that's had it applied all in the areas that are inaccessible once the wing goes on. So now I can start to assemble the front end of the car for the last time. I'll start with the front panel and put the wings on. I've got new bolts, these ones that I bought before. They're not the same as the originals. The originals had an Acme thread and a 7/16 head, but none of the ones that came off this car were very good. So I've bought the appropriate clips that go with these. These are a number 14. They're quite commonly available. A number 14 self tapper, 3/4 inch long, with its own washer. So they're actually, in my view, quite a good substitute for the bolts. Okay, yeah. So just a case of bolting those on, and then I can start to assemble, you know, things like the headlight buckets and the vacuum tank, stuff like that. It might be worth just revisiting, just to have a quick look at some of the repairs. All this was repaired here. This was repaired. All this was repaired here. That area. This whole corner was repaired. This piece was repaired. That piece was repaired. This piece was repaired. The battery tray was repaired. That front piece was completely missing and was replaced and repaired. And then likewise on this side, everything that I mentioned over there was done over here as well. Not that piece. Oh, maybe I did actually, I can't remember now. The tray was replaced. The whole front end of the car was done. And all that's going to get covered up now. Worthwhile having a look at these as well. Repairs there. One there. One there. Repairs there. 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 And the same on the wing. That's the one that I've just done. The paint isn't even dry yet. That was a previous repair that I left in place. This is one of mine. All that area there as well was, this was replaced with a patch panel, and this was made from scratch. I made that, just banged it over a vise. I thought it came out okay. So lots of work most of which will be hidden once the wings go on. Okay, righto, I'll bring you back when there's more to show. I've got this roll of Pirelli webbing and I've just cut 2 pieces to go here, and I'm hoping it might be wide enough just to kind of bend down the side a little bit and create a seal against the wing there. I think it might be okay. Yeah, I think it'd be okay because it doesn't come back as far as this. Just thought I'd show you those. I don't think I'm going to put anywhere else. Getting it to stay in place would be the tricky thing, I think. Anyway, that's that. Okay, righto, back in a bit. Hello, welcome to Mart's Garage. I've completed the repairs to the front wings and the front panel, and I've been bolting them on. I had quite a big gap on this side of this wing here, and so I've slackened all the bolts and I've put a ratchet strap across there. And what I also did, I'll kind of do a reenactment. I put this big bar of metal in here and pushed to the right, to the left, to that side. And it's closed up the gap, but all the bolts are loose at the moment. Now, when I was pushing on that bar, I was mindful that the car is sitting on axle stands, so I had to be careful. I can't really open the bonnet with that ratchet strap in place, but I'm going to try and do up some of the nuts that I can. I've also fitted these little screws here, look. I've got some stainless steel 5mm screws, so I've used those. So this is tight. That's not too bad. This is a little bit tight, but I imagine it'll all give when I slacken everything off. If you look there, look, there's bolts up there. See where I've put that? That's that Pirelli webbing I've put there. So let's tighten these up. I don't know how tight you're supposed to do these. Doing this one by feel. There's a bolt there, look, I wonder if I can get round to it through there. I might be able to. So let's undo this then. How to undo a ratchet strap gently. I made a video about this. I thought it was going to go viral. It didn't. Okay. Okay, it's relaxed a bit, but it's not too bad. I can possibly adjust the... oh, I'm not going to worry about it. I do like to have good body panel fits though. The bonnet's a bit tight here, but I don't really want it to come forward any. I think this is because of the rust here. Still, that's not too bad, is it? I'll undo the bonnet because there's a couple of bolts here. Hang on. Click. Okay, good. Right. I'll give you a quick roundup. All the wings were repaired. Front panel was repaired. I've put wax oil on everything. I've made some special washers to go there just to add strength to where it's clamped together. And there's some up there as well. These need to be taken off and painted. You can see the repairs on the front panels. I haven't put the bottom bolt in this wing, that's to be done. But this one is bolted on completely, which is along there. There's one up here, one here somewhere, and that one down there. And it's really, really solidly attached. Just for reference, anybody that's working on one, I'll show you where the bolts are. I showed them when I tore it apart, but there's one up there, look. Okay, get your perspective. Here's the parcel shelf. There's the bolt. There's one here, which is halfway up the A panel on the inside. And there's one up there. That's known as the secret bolt because that's the one people tend to not realise is there. Once you struggle to get the wing off, you soon find out. Okay, and then there's one underneath, which is, don't know if you can see it, it's up there somewhere. Can you see it? I can't tell where the camera's pointing. And that's the one that goes into that rear end of the wing there. Okay, so the front panels are all bolted on, which is good because that is a major part of the car back in place. You know, just cast your mind back if you watch the whole series, the amount of work that's been done to the inner structure, the corner replacement, you know, bits around by the hinges, these towers, the shock towers have all been done, haven't they? The inner pieces, the trays underneath, the battery tray. So yeah, so that's all been done, and the front wings are back on, including these repairs, which I've left like that because I'm not trying to restore the car, I'm trying to repair it. Unfortunately, the badge that was there fell off. You can see the mark where it was. Shame, never mind. I'll see if I can stick it back on. I'm gonna call it good at that, and just say I'm pleased with the progress. It's coming along well, and obviously when there's more to show, I'll bring you back and show it to you. So thanks for joining me in the garage then. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then, bye.